played in big places like IMG. Hey, yeah, battle tested, you ain't bad at test. Come and play against the best from the generation next. Hey, hopping all on Facebook, not going for that flex. When a tough game gets set, we do our best to try to pull up where they at. Hey, yeah.
Talking all that junk. They talked about we really number one.
On that highlight, they rewind me, they come and find me and then invite me to wine. See, I came for MVP to have a whole league behind me. Done played in big places like IMG. Hey, yeah, battle tested, you ain't bad at test. Come and play against the best from the generation next. Hey, hopping all on Facebook, not going for that flex. When a tough game gets set, we do our best to try to pull up where they at. Hey, yeah, ain't get no invite, just sitting around hanging. What you thinking? You ain't in if you ain't in them power rankings. Hey, yeah, it get lit. Hey, hotter than the summer. Hey, try again next year, you might get a call from Jonah. Hey, but it ain't no way, you gotta come outside and play. Hey, if they can come to you, then go and play them games away. Hey, yeah, in December, that's when ain't nobody say. Hey, think I'm just talking, I just got off live with Clay. Hey, yeah, I go crazy on that highlight, they rewind me, they come and find me and then invite me to wine. See, I came for MVP to have a whole league behind me. Done played in big places like IMG. Hey, yeah, battle tested, you ain't bad at test. Come and play against the best from the generation next. Hey, hopping all on Facebook, not going for that flex. When a tough game gets set, we do our best to try to pull up where they at. Hey, yeah.
Welcome to Football Uncut, man. I'm Jonah Willett, my partner in crime, Clayton Guillory. Clay, looking at those photos, man, that's some good flashback action. I'm looking at them boys holding up their Heisman trophies. I'm looking at them boys holding up the crystal ball, flashing their jewelry, their rings. Man, YNC last year, talent-wise was stupid. It was bananas. And, we're about to approach the 2024 season to kind of give us a glimpse of what this season is going to be possessed of. But if you could think of some teams last year that just, when you say a team was loaded, a team that was really just full of athletes, great coaching, some from those YNC championship, what team or teams would stand out to you, man, that you're like, man, I can't wait to see them boys get on the field and palm and this early in the preseason?
Well, I'd have to say, Jonah, man, the team that's going to jump out to me especially when you talk about everything that they did last year and they've done the previous 4 years, right? Atlanta Elite Voodoo, man. Because I can't imagine that team getting any better, any more stacked than it
Yeah.
already is. And like I said, man, as the rumor mill continues to turn, I'm hearing that they've added some pieces to make that team unbeatable. So it'll be interesting to see how they do at the preseason event August 1st through the 4th, because it's still going to be early. And a lot of times when you're putting together new group of kids together, or maybe you have a group of kids, but you add in 2 or 3 pieces, right? That dynamic changes a little bit, not just on the field. What's going to happen in the stands, because mom and dad used to seeing their baby shine. Now he have less,
Right.
less
This is
plays,
true.
or maybe he coming off the bench now. That could change a lot of things. So, but for me, yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting to see how Voodoo adapts, because you can't imagine that team being any more dominant than it already is.
Well, tonight's subject, of course, a surprise show. We didn't want to catch everybody off guard because, listen, we know it's going to be a floodgate tonight of some news that we're going to be sharing. So we didn't want to do the promo all week. This is a surprise show. We just is undercover. This is underground YNC tonight, underground YNC unplugged. But tonight, Clay, we will be inviting some teams to the YNC that has first dibs in, meaning that all they have to do is register at this point. They're already locked in. So these 6 teams per each age group. And then, Clay, you got a special announcement. What happens after those 6 teams are announced tonight?
So first off, let me tell everybody now. If you want to be part of the YNC, if you should be part of the YNC, if you've been a part of the YNC and you know the type of event that this is going to be, right? You need to tag your people. You need to comment. You need to get them on this live tonight, because what I can tell you is that when this thing is over with, 5 minutes later, we finna break the internet, right? So the way that this thing is going to go down is that we're going to hand out the 6 invites per age level, right? Like all standard YNC invites, when they receive their invite, they're going to have 48 hours to confirm. If not, then we will go to someone else. The people with the 6 invites are the only people that have guaranteed spots in the YNC. But you also have to confirm that guaranteed spot within 48 hours. So, for
Right.
example, let's just say we invite Bessemer Tigers, right? And Bessemer Tigers says, hey, we're not coming. After 48 hours, then we're going to go to the next person. So 6 of the 12 teams in each age level will be invite only. The additional 6 are going to be first come, first serve basis. So what I'm telling you is tonight, we're going to drop the 6 invites for every age group. When this show ends, 5 minutes later, I'm going to pull up the registration link on my Facebook and tag Jonah and AG in it, and the Youth National Championship. At that point,
Right.
those other 6 available spots are open for the teams that are ready to come in and pay their full registration right now. All right. So we're not going to leave it up for no guessing. Like I told you guys when we did the show a couple weeks ago, put your income tax refund to the side, your fundraising money to the side, or if your coach just got it like that, or your president got it like that, pull out that
Right.
card tonight. Because I'm telling you, Jonah, I'm willing to bet we're gonna have several age groups that's gonna be full before midnight
For
tonight.
tonight.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So they better get in here, man. They better get in
Well,
here.
and Clay, I'm not mad at it because, some of the gripes over the years have been like, man, Jonah, we want to see new faces. Clay, we want to see new faces. These are the top teams that's been dominating year and out, and these age groups keep going up. Which, listen, as long as you're dominating, you deserve the big stage, right? But now here's the teams that come from the small cities that say they never get paid attention to. The teams that come, like they haven't been on the YNC's radar. Well, here's an opportunity. It won't be it won't be necessary to talk about it. You just get to earn it on the football field. So if you feel you want that smoke, you feel you want that action, tonight is the night. Well, this is your first step to it. So, Clay, as we talk about some of these teams, man, I didn't get a chance to talk about a team that I think is going to be a big difference this year. So, you look at 13U last year. It was teams that you're saying, hey, should have played, they should have came back, or 13 this year, what would the rare breeds look like? Will they keep the same players? Will they still keep the same teams? Where they didn't get particular matchups, but you talked about Boynton Beach as well. I'm curious of how Boynton Beach would jump out the gate this year. Now, Boynton met Rare Breeds early in the season last year, and it started out very competitive. You know, they came out there, they
Yep.
scored on Rare Breeds. Running back just took it to the house. But now, Rare Breeds, they're aware that Boynton Beach, they're a contender. They're for real. If those two teams met right now, Clay, Rare Breeds, Boynton Beach, do you think you'll have a repeat of preseason where it started out tough with Boynton Beach and then, Rare Breed started to run away with the game? Or do you think you'll have a repeat of the YNC championship where it was a thug in a slugfest all the way to the end?
So my opinion would be that preseason matchup that they had in Carolina last year, man, really helped Boynton Beach. It really got the kids focused, got the coaches focused, so they would be ready for Rare Breeds in December. Now, here's the thing, and you can comment on this as much as I can, right? Rare Breeds has been real quiet this offseason. They haven't made a lot of noise. I hadn't heard DeMarcus getting online, stirring the pot or talking noise like he normally
Right?
does. I haven't even seen Rare Breeds in a lot of 7-on-7 events in the offseason like they have been the past couple of years. So the question is, how much camaraderie does that team still have right now? Are they going to come back firing on all cylinders, or they're going to have to rebuild some things? On the other hand, I'm seeing what Boynton Beach has been doing. Right? You can see it all over social media. They talking about it all in South Florida. It's almost like a rumble that's happening down there, man. And they trying to get ready for the explosion. So obviously, like everybody knows, this is a 4-day event, 2-game guarantee. These are full 4-quarter games, no running clock, right? It's
Right.
tournament format. There are no big stage games, right? The big stage games are going to be the two teams that meet in the championship. If Boynton Beach and Rare Breeds meet in the championship, man, you never know what's going to happen. You really never know what's going to happen. Now, of course, I'm going to ride with my champ. If we being honest, man, Mark done won what? 5 of them things in a row over 2 age groups, 2 different teams. You can't count against it. But if anybody gave DeMarcus a scare, it was Boynton Beach. I don't care what nobody say.
Exactly. Exactly. And another interesting age group, Clay, and I know this is sensitive space for you here, man. This year is going to be the 11U. The 11U, last year's 10U, Georgia Eagles, Twin City, potentially
Yes.
Miami Garden Ravens, a very, very competitive age group. That takes place, be coming out of that age.
So, like I told you last show, Jonah, and I caught a lot of heat for it, but I'm just gonna keep it 100. I don't believe the Miami Garden Ravens gonna show up until I see them at certification. And then, in my opinion, we in Florida, that's still too close for them to have some type of team emergency and they got to go home. I'm not gonna believe it until I see them stepping on the field at the Youth National Championship, because I've had 2 coaches lie to my face and tell me they was coming and didn't come, right? And I get it. I ain't nobody. You ain't gotta hold your word with me. I'm cool with that, right? But I just don't
Right.
believe it, man. I believe when it all comes down and Born Chasers jump out there with the camera, you know what I'm saying? And AG gonna be up, on the stream, and you're gonna have Hollywood under the radar there, and you're gonna have Jonah on the sideline. When you see all that goes down, you'll see Rare City. You'll see the Georgia Eagles. I hope I get to see the Miami Garden Ravens, but I'm not banking on it, man, just because they have, let me see, how would I say it? Misguided me before.
Right. All right. Well, we're about to jump into these invites real quick. Bear with me. I got technical difficulties tonight, Clay. My internet, they can't keep up with a high player like me, bro. They just can't do it. So we're gonna jump in to 6 and under. This is what the people came for. Get ready to break the internet after that. You're opening up registration wide open. But right now, 6 and under invites 2024 preseason Youth National Championships, August 1st to the 4th, Panama City. What's those 6 teams that get that invite?
All right, so we're gonna start here from the rooter to the tutor. So we're starting with, you can't go against these guys because for the past 2 to 3 years on 6U, they've been phenomenal. the Bessemer Tigers. Bessemer Tigers have their invite to Panama City, August 1st through the 4th. The second U that we're going to invite, and it's another organization that does a great job with the very young age division, because 6U is very hard to kind of pick who those top teams are going to be, especially in the preseason. The Marshall Heights. Now, I know Marshall Heights is a program that really doesn't, come to our platform. But again, if we feel like they're one of the best, we're going to invite them. We'll let them tell us no. Now, another team on 6U that's coming, and this is a merger of two prominent organizations out of the Atlanta, Georgia area on 6U. Real Deal Georgia Elite. You heard it there, guys. Real Deal GEA. That is the merger of RDU and GEA from last year. Now, you cannot discredit all the talent that they have in the state of Georgia. So, of course, having a second Georgia team with that 6U invite is only customary these days. Shout out to the Twin City Outlaws. Twin City Outlaws on 6U have their invitation to the 2024 preseason nationals. Now, heading back down to South Florida, not a long drive. It's probably a long drive for people from Florida. If you live in Texas, it's not a long drive, right?
Right.
Shout out to the Lauderdale Lake Vikings who have received their invite on 6U. Lauderdale Lake Vikings, you have your invitation to the show on 6U, and we'll get it on up there. I know AG working through the back end. We hitting it with a lot of stuff. And then that's a team that they won their Super Bowl on 5U, Jonah. So that is a team that we know will be able to play on that ultimate high level early in the season. And then, of course, the final 6 team that we're going to give that 6U invitation to, right, if they choose to accept it, off of the East Coast, DMVU, another organization that does a really good job with those babies right off the bat on 6U, man. So again, the 6 teams with the invites for 6U 2024 preseason nationals. You have the Bessemer Tigers, you have Marshall Heights, you have Real Deal GEA, Twin City Outlaws, Lauderdale Lakes, and DMVU. Now, for those of you that's chiming in and talking about what about this team, what about that team, et cetera,
let's
number
go.
one, there's 6U, all right? There's no perfect science to calculating the best teams in 6U right now when we talk about preseason. Number 2, make sure you stay on your Facebook page 5 minutes after this show is over with. And if you feel like your team has been missed or shunned, the link will be up, register, and prove us wrong. Just like that.
So what you mean, Clay? There's not a 5U forecaster to tell you the best 6U teams right now?
Listen, not in April, brother. Not in April, it ain't.
Right. Ain't happening. No, that's an excellent list from a lot of talent teams. And a lot of that talent, of course, these are some teams that capitalize in their specific region and some teams that we know have excellent coaching. And so when you get 12 of these teams on one football field, 4 quarters of football, I can tell you one thing, at the end, by August 4th, you'll know who definitely the top 6U teams are in the country. And so we'll switch gears to the 7 and under teams, man. We'll talk about some of these teams that deserve an invite. And like Clay said early in the broadcast, you have 48 hours to respond to these invites. But still, listen, if you're not on top of your math, if you're not on top of, and these invites will go out to your head coaches. So you just won't have to depend on this live only. This will not be the only communication that we were giving to you guys to make sure that you are aware of your invite. But all head coaches, team moms, you'll have your invite. And there's no exceptions, 48 hours, because we're locking it in. We want to get this facility ready for you. We want to make sure you have your matchups locked up, because we're going to start promoting it. We're going to make y'all baby superstars. So we want to let you know your matchups, your 4-quarter matchups before it even happens. So 7 and under, without further ado, of course, you got to bring back your champs, Clay. Undoubtedly, these guys earned it on the football field, the number 1 team in the nation. They get their invite. Bessemer Tigers out of Alabama, they get the invite to Panama City. So 48 hours, champs. You get to defend your number 1 ranking, your title, your trophy. Go ahead and prove once again early at the season that you're the best of the best. Of course, Real Deal GEA at the 7 and under team out of Georgia. We feel is the front runner, probably the best 7U team in Georgia. You'll have your opportunity not just to prove you're the best in Georgia, you'll have an opportunity to prove that you're the best in the country. True Motion Sharks. This is a team that was in it all year, made their noise early, didn't hear about them. You know, they were like, hey, well, they came over from another part, changed their names, came and dominated, came down to the YNC. They deserve this spot. Sharks, you get to have your revenge early in the season. You get all the big boys on one football field. Can you make it happen? The invite, 48 hours, make it happen. Northeast Rattlers, 7 and under. This is a team I told you about, Clay. No one heard
You
about
did.
it. Tough,
You did.
fast. They, came from a small area, but they had the opportunity. But this is what the YNC is all about. You don't have to be from LA. You don't have to be from Miami. You don't have to be from Dallas. Even the small cities get on the stage. If your boys can ball out, they can ball out. Somebody like Deion Sanders was from Fort Myers. Didn't ever hear about it. A guy named Anquan Bolden. He came from a place called Pahokee. So these are small. Edrin James came out of the cracks and kneadings of these small areas. So again, opportunity for you guys to shine. Marshall Heights, here you go again. Your opportunity. We know you've been in different leagues. This is league agnostic. We're not sweating about your brand on your shoulder. We're just giving your babies opportunities to ball out. Here's your opportunity August 1st through the 4th. No more talk. It's all about the action. And wrapping it up for the final invite, 7 and under, SED Wolverines. Here you go, Texas. Put it on your back. Everything bigger in Texas, but you're going to have to bring that big mentality when you come down to Panama City because it's going to be straight action. So just to recap it one more time, 7 and under, Bessemer Tigers, Real Deal GEA, True Motion Sharks, Northeast Rattlers, Marshall Heights, SED Wolverines. You have been invited to the show. Make no mistake, there will be nothing bigger, nothing more fierce, nothing more intense. The competition level will be second to none. Now, to the other 6 spots, 5 minutes after we sign off. Lock and load. It's your opportunity to get it in. Clay, 8 and under.
So as we roll to 8 and under, man, and I'm going to tell you, Jonah, as we roll through these invites, man, and I'm watching the comments, and it's a lot, seem like it's a lot of, people upset, and I'm wondering, maybe I get it on 6U. Maybe I get it on 6U. But when you look at these other age levels, I asked them, what was the results of your season last year? Because, we was there, Jonah. We was at the show. I'm watching people comment on here who was nowhere even on the radar last year talking about we holding them. Come on, man, stop it. But listen, that's the great thing about this format. Pop, 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 pop. Register. I'm finna show Jonah and Clay why we need to be recognized.
100%.
But man, let's
I'm
go
on that.
to 8U, man. Let's go and roll to 8U. All right, so again, like Jonah said, we got to start with the number 1 8U team in the country, the YNC defending national champions, a team that came down to South Florida and took their respect. Adamsville Tigers. Adamsville Tigers is going to get us started, defending national champ with our 8U invites to the 2024 preseason national championship, August 1st through the 4th, down in Panama City, Florida. Right? So my question for you, Jonah, before I even go through the rest of this list, because last year it was the Alabama national championship. Do you think the preseason is going to end up with 2 Alabama teams, or do you think somebody else will be able to jump in that thing?
Not only was it an Alabama, but it was a Tiger on Tiger.
You're right.
Adamsville Tigers, Bessemer Tigers is crazy. But you know what? That's just a great sign that they're doing some good things, that the coaches are really taking it serious. They understand the new philosophy of playing national football, the endurance, the coaching, the scheming. Hats off to those guys who are really coming out there and playing competitive football. It's not too often you see state-on-state national championships. But listen, there's going to be some teams that challenge them. You have some teams, you hear these familiar names. Real Deal is going to be one of those teams that are competitive at that age group. They were competitive last year at the 7 and under. Came up a little short, which is GEA, a combination of Real Deal and GEA. Came up short. They were talented and fierce throughout the season. But you think about when you play a national championships, Clay, and we both know it, We tell you, when you get off that bus, you have to be able to compete for those 3 or 4 days consecutively. You can't just come out there and win one big game and it's over with. This is where you have to have the strategic, how could I say, don't burn out your key players. You know, you got to be able to know how to play your players through on that first day and the second day. And that's the difference where these coaches get a lot of experience. Now, could that experience from GEA help them this year? We'll see in the preseason. But like Clay, just kind of piggyback on what you said about the teams or the people that's making comments. Listen, what we want to strive away from is not a Clay and a Jonah show. It's not about particular rankings now. This is why we introduced this format. We gave 6 teams an opportunity that earned it from last year. Doesn't matter. They get to come out there and defend it in 2024. But we also are opening the door for teams that feel that you want the attention, and not the attention just for the glitz and the glamour, but the attention you feel that you guys deserve it, that you can compete. So don't take your energy out on the internet and type up. Get ready. 5 minutes after, take that same energy, all that rapping like Jeezy, right? Take that same energy, jump online, lock and load. I'm telling you, because once we're locked with the 12 teams, that's the format. You won't see some brackets with 12 teams and one with 14 teams. That's not going to happen. We're going to lock and load it. And then those teams that feel that, hey, we finally get an opportunity, hey, prove us wrong. I'll be the first one, Clay will be the first one to come out there, put the camera in y'all face and let y'all babies get their shine. That's what we on. Definitely.
No doubt.
So,
all right. So we got
Adamsville,
second 8U with their invitation. I'm sure you guys know who this is. You know, Bessemer Tigers, YNC national runner-ups. You know, champion. You know, year before last. Bessemer has a hell of a resume, and you know they're going to be there for the big show. Now, third 8U team again, and we talked about they might be one of the best, you know, teams out of the Atlanta, Georgia area with their merger. Real Deal Georgia Elite, Real Deal GEA. Now, here's another Georgia team that has put some work in, and we've got to give them their due, invite them to the big show, the Atlanta Elite Ravens. You can't have a YNC National Championship without Atlanta Elite in the building. Now, speaking of mergers, here's one that a lot of people wasn't quite hip on. Remember the TNS last year on 7U? Remember Oak Cliff Titans last year on 7U? They have merged to create TNT on 8U. So that'll be a big hitter coming from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. TNT, you know, Coach Zimmy and Coach 6'3" locking up together to get their 8U team locked in all the way together so they can compete with the big boys from Alabama and Georgia. And then that final 8U spot, right? This is the team, Jonah, that they told us, oh, we not ready yet. We're going to go 1 year to this other platform and see what we got. And next year we'll be ready. And then they got to the other platform and blew everybody doors out. And then I'm getting text messages like, man, we should have came. You know, I don't know why we didn't just come. Well, here is your opportunity. Space City. Come on, jump on. You got your invite. Come on up there to the stage with the big boys, August 1st through the 4th, Panama City, Florida, man. We gonna make it happen. Just like that. Boom. Go and roll on over to 9U, Jonah.
So Clay, for the people that ask, hey man, where do you guys get these teams from? Why where do you get this invite? Why, you know, where's Adamsville and Bessemer and Real Deal? Where do you get this? What is your answer, Clay, when you're announcing these teams for someone who may not have been following football last year, right? Some people lived under a rock last year. You got to give them credit. Rock was a nice little, you know, space to live under last year. Some people occupied under a rock, obviously was disconnected from football. But what would you tell them as we're announcing these names going forward right now for these invites?
Well, if you lived under a rock last year, I mean, hopefully that you had the internet in December, you would have saw the matchup between Adamsville and the Bessemer Tigers. I mean, Adamsville right now, there's no way that you cannot understand they're the number one 8U team in the country, right? RDU was proven, GEA was proven, Atlanta Elite Ravens is proven, right? Space City, even though they went to another platform, they did some great things. Even traveled up to to Alabama during the season and had some upsets. Now, I know some people are kind of questioning, you know, let's talk about this TNT team. Let's talk about a team that merged TNS and Oak Cliff Titans. But if we being honest, man, y'all just being some haters right now because nobody's questioning the RDU and GEA merger because those are
Right.
two Atlanta teams that y'all respect. So
Right.
understand, we do this. We do this. We see the mergers, right? We look at the rosters. We talk to the coaches. We know where people are going. There's still some levels to this stuff, man, that y'all don't quite understand. And I don't claim to know it all. Jonah don't claim to know it all. But I can tell you this right here. These 6 teams, as far as I know, in April, are going to be 6 of the most competitive teams in the country. That's all we can do.
Yes, sir. Now, 9 and under, of course. You always have to start off with your defending national champ, and that will be, of course, Bessemer Tigers, a team that has been repeat back-to-back national champions. This is a team that's solid, consistent, and this is a team that usually jumps out early in the season. They have no way of last year we couldn't get them to really match up early, with particular teams. But this is the format where you get it out of the way early, win, lose, or draw. Of course, Gorilla Mob gets the invite coming in to Panama City. Gorilla Mob, of course, a lot of running backs that just will hit you from left and back and right, and I can't wait to see them out on the football field. A lot of their Lake Vikings, man, coming up a little short in the national championships, but they've been consistent. This is a team that has great defense. They've been on the national scene for the last 3 years in dog fights with some of the top teams in the country year in and year out. And Duval Jags, of course, this is a team also coming up a little short, Clay, but competitive. One of the best top teams in the country, and we can't wait to see them out on the football field. Playmakers Elite. Listen, Coach has been taking this team across the country. A couple years ago to California, playing on other platforms. It's a team that's really to put in the mix early in the season. He's going to give you what you want. And, of course, an organization that is making leaps and bounds and putting themselves on a national stage year in and year out. West Orlando Jags gets that final spot at the 9 and under invite. Congratulations to those 6. And also congratulations to those first 6 that can get in the mix to compete against these teams in the 9 and under, Clay.
Listen, man, that 9 and under age division, it'll be very, very, very interesting, And I think the thing that's going to make it more interesting too, Jonah, is you never really know who's going to pop up in those other six spots. That's the thing that's going to make this whole thing really, kind of question it, man.
Saucy.
Who's going to pop up? You never know who's going to
Yeah.
pop up. All right, man, let's roll on to 10U. Now, 10U is an age level that we all know is dominated by the number 1 team in the country year after year after
Right.
year after year, Atlanta Elite Voodoo. We can go and throw that up there, AG. We know they got their invite, right? They are the face of YNC. They are what everybody should strive to be as they won 6U national championship, 7U national championship, 8U national championship, 9U, and this year they are going for a record-setting 5 years in a row on 10U. Now, second invite is our national runner-up, and some people have questioned how good this team is really going to be because they lost some players.
Right.
But I've been reassured by the guys down in New Orleans, man, that this team is reloaded again. Crescent City Chargers. Crescent City Chargers, you have your 10U invite to the big show for the preseason nationals. Now, this third team out of Texas, they came down to South Florida. They showing lost in the semifinals, right? But definitely earned the respect across the nation that they deserve. And
Yes.
I think that they've retooled some things and they want to take a push for it. Shout out to SED Wolverines. You have your 10U invite to the preseason nationals. Now, West Orlando Jaguars, come on to the stage. We got an invitation for you. This should be a big showing for you guys. Almost want to call it home turf. The question is, do you guys have enough firepower to knock off the big 3 ahead of you? So, big shout out to 10U West Orlando Jaguars with their invitation. Now, this next invitation, Jonah, this is the invitation, man, that's going to spark some controversy, right?
Right.
Because some things went down at nationals. And we had to step in and intervene and kind of, hey, lay down the law. But we've been reassured that this year everything is going to be on the up and up, that all the I's will be dotted and the T's will be crossed. So we're going to give them an invite, because one thing they did show is that they had the heart to step in the ring with, pound for pound, the best team in the country. So, boom. Lauderdale Lake Vikings 10U invitation, also known as Bugatti. They will be in Panama City. And then that final sixth 10U invitation is going to go over up to the East Coast again, DMVU. Now, again, they're from another platform. We don't know if they're going to accept their invite. We hope that they do, so they get an opportunity to test what they did last year against the big boys this year. So that 10U 6 invite list: Atlanta Elite Voodoo, Crescent City Chargers, SCD Wolverines, West Orlando Jaguars, Lauderdale Lake Vikings, and DMVU. That will be your 10U invites.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So here we go, man. Your national champs, beating on their chest like gorillas. You know what I'm saying? Deserving it. Came out there dog fight. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when you go through that gauntlet, man, it's crazy. It's crazy that when you come out there and you survive it, it's something you can really brag about. And it's been like that for really the last 3 years at this particular age group. And so whenever a champion is declared, it's not something by default. It's not something that where you say, oh, man, y'all had an easy schedule. Anybody could have won that. When you are crowned in this specific age group, it's for a reason. And I really respect the winners.
Yeah.
No matter, every time they come out, it's, those kids get better. They come out sore. They come out fatigued, but they come out better. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you I know all these kids are really on this age group, and I can tell you this specific age group, when they get in high school, Clay, it's going to be a special class, bro. It's going to be a dope class to watch these kids come out of high school and go to college, because I think these guys, this specific age group, is going to be game changers, bro. And so, the kids that's going to be fortunate enough to make it to the league out of this age group, they're going to be battle tested. And I'm proud to say that a start in their journey started in the YNC. It's definitely a vibe. And so, listen, without further ado, first teams that's invited up here. And, of course, we need those other 6 teams on standby to ready, rock, and roll it, because there's some teams that we feel should be in there, but we want them to do their own due diligence and push their own ticket to come in. Of course, y'all shout out to Rare City, the #1 team in the nation that earned it, held up that crystal ball at the end of the year. Shout out to the Georgia Eagles. They earned it. Came back. They've been battling for the national championship back years. They've been on the scene, haven't been turning down any phase. They run to the smoke. Every year they've been able to compete with different type of players that stood out, Clay. So what's going to be interesting is who is going to be the big-time player this year for you. Is it going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be the running back? Same thing with Rare City. Is it going to be, they had different players. It used to be Scat, and it turned out to be, Bryce. So there's different kids that just really just stepped up for them. And listen, team that has really just been growing up right in front of us. Started out in Division II, and then made it from Division II and stepped in the ring in Division I. They just really been growing up in front of us. Give a big shout out to West Orlando Jags. Now, Clay, I understand that the head coach on this, I think maybe on my birthday, August 3rd or 4th, is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. So Devin Hester may not be able to make it. So I'm not sure of the status of West Orlando Jags as a team. I don't know if he wants the team playing without him there. So we just got to get some clarity of that. But, couldn't even hate on that situation. How often do you get inducted into the Hall of Fame? So I wouldn't even put it like, hey, man, they scared of smoking like that. You got to – that's a 1 in a million opportunity. Hester, if that's your vibe, bro, we support you. We salute you. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Fame. Bring us all back some yellow jackets that we could rock, like there's only one youth national championship. Just modify us, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You better get a YNC a shout out in your speech, dog. Get a YNC a shout out in your speech.
100%. Yeah, if not, we're going to aid you on your speech. I'm going to tell you right now, Hester, we're going to have like 4 or 5 dudes you won't even recognize in the audience. if we don't get a YNC shutout, them eggs just finna hit you out of nowhere. You're gonna be in the middle of your speech and the egg goes, spam, spam. So play with it you want to. But if listen, but hold on, Hester, you're an NFL Hall of Famer. There's no way that you shouldn't be able to take a private jet, do your speech, get on the plane, coach your game. You feel me? Like, what we doing here? Like, what's priorities here? You know what I'm saying? So, but good luck to those boys. Hopefully, West Orlando Jazz can do it as well. Shout out to the boys that won it in a different platform. This is a team that Clay, we got to convince them that they're coming. We have to convince Clay that they're
Hold
coming.
on. Please. Hold on, Jonah.
Ravens.
Hold on, Jonah. You're skipping one before you get to them guys.
Oh, no. I'm doing it for. I got you. I got you. But this is a plea. This is a plea to the Ravens fan base. Clay has a P.O. box in Texas. He needs some convincing. Y'all send my man some flowers, send him something. Let's heal the relationship. Let's kumbaya for a minute, okay? So Ravens, let us know you're coming, man. And shout out to the Montgomery Gators. Montgomery Gators, man, a tough team. Clay, I can't say enough about this team. They're on the cusp of greatness, right? But they just need a couple more pieces. And so if in Montgomery, I'm not going to recruit for y'all Montgomery, but if y'all, if you're a Montgomery, man, and look the coaches up, they need 1 or 2 more pieces for them to compete, man. 1 or 2 more coaches to compete. And of course, let's round out the last invite with Bullet, man. With Bullet, let's go and wrap out the top 6. Now, I can tell you right now, Clay, who my other 6 would be. I got some personal friends I want to call right now and tell them, man, let's lock in, because I know they feel they're in the top 3 themselves. We know who we talk about. They deserve it. Let's get you down to Panama City. Shock the world. The world.
2 of them teams, they should just use the same Airbnb they used in December in Panama City. But, I ain't going to say nothing.
But no, this real talk. I think it all jokes aside. Let's publicly address it. I think, they played a lot of top teams last year. They played a top schedule. They lost a couple games. But I really feel if they play the right way, they are truly a top 4, top 5 team. They just need consistency in the big game. And I think they get the consistency if they start out early. They dominated their particular region. They dominated their league. They're Super Bowl champs, and they deserve the credit. So what we want to make sure we understand as we're giving these invites, this is no how based on we're not feeling the teams are eligible or not. These are invites to get those top 6 out the way and then open the door so we can compete on the other side of bracket if they elect to. Now, some of the teams that haven't elect to, we just didn't put them in the group because they may feel they have other options. That is why you see how we're doing it this way. But if the option is available, you're more than welcome. We'll put you in the bracket, let you do your thug dizzle, and let's go. Clay, what would you say to some of the top teams? Let's just say if you're a champ, you're YNC champ, and let's just the elephant in the room. And you're like, man, well, I'm not defending the title. I'm not going out to play this national. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that, right? And we're not having multiple events this year. We're not doing the 4 as we travel. We used to go to East Coast, West Coast, Texas, and then something that's on the Southeast area. We're not doing that this year. We're putting, and we used to have to do those because they were at smaller venues, right? And so we would have to do the running clock. Didn't get real true reflections of the game, I would say, right? But now here you have a week of football, 4 days of football. You have the no running clocks. You got the real deal there. It's a big difference. These aren't exhibition games. These are games that count, right? So what would you tell a team that's elected and say, no, you know what? And so when we drop the rankings that following week, how impactful will this week be to the true rankings that we'll see in front of these teams playing four quarters of football?
This is it. This is where you get your ranking. This is where you determine how the season starts. This is where you determine if you have a very strong case to get into the December National Championship, or if you're going to be climbing up the rankings, climbing up the hill, praying, hoping that people lose in front of you, or if you put yourself in a position to control your own destiny. And if we're being truthful, man, if your team is built to win a national championship, especially a youth national championship, you want to put yourself in a position to truly control your own destiny. When you start having to depend on other people to lose games, or you start depending on other people to blow somebody else out so you can jump up in a ranking, man, you're taking your destiny out of your own hands, right? And that's the beauty about this. If you didn't get the invite and you've already fundraised to get there, it's simple. Get on my Facebook page 5 minutes after this show and you were there. So if you feel like you snubbed, prove us wrong. The crazy part about it is, man, I see all these people that get so caught up in egos and, well, we should have had this and we should have had that. Let me tell you something, bro. That's not the way of the world to work. And the fact that you are a grown person, with that mentality, just just further strengthens my thought process that maybe the YNC isn't the right platform for you. Maybe you didn't get the invite, but we giving you an opportunity to get in there and show everybody why you deserve the invite. Me and Jonah have been wrong before. We've been wrong before. Hell, I walked into the national
When was that though?
championship saying this is who is finna win it, and have been proven wrong before. But I can tell you this preseason, this event means more than it ever did before. I'm just trying to give you a little game right now. I'm trying to save you some heartache. I'm trying to save you from answering some questions from your parents and kids on, it's December, why don't we have a shot? Hey, you had the opportunity to put your own destiny in your hands. You chose not to because some team that you don't know nothing about got an invite over you. That's it. All right.
I like it, bro.
Jonah, let's roll on over to let's roll on over to 12U, man. So
12U.
12U is gonna be an interesting age division in my eyes because I've been hearing a lot of rumors, right?
Rumors.
I've been hearing a lot of rumors about
right.
the two teams that played in the national championship. And if I'm being honest with you, this was probably, in my eyes, the most entertaining national championship of them all last year. And don't get me wrong, that Rare Breed and Boynton one was a good one too. But this one right here, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, Lambeau, man, that game to me is the epitome of what the youth national championship is about, right? That's the epitome of taking the best two teams in the country and putting them face to face and saying, who's better, me or you?
Right.
And if the football gods answer my prayers, Jonah, we're going to see a rematch of that in August in the preseason nationals. And we might see that rematch again in December at the YNC Nationals. But this is why we play the game, because there are going to be 10 other teams in that bracket besides those two, and we never know how this whole thing may come together. But starting off, man, shout out to our national champions, number 1 12U team in the country. I think they call them Big Zip, Zip 'em Up Boys, something like that. Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. Then, of course, that next invite's got to go out to Coach Howard and Georgia Lambeau, guys who have made an unprecedented run across the YNC year after year after year after year. Since I've met Lambeau and Howard, they've either been the champion or the runner-up, but they've always been in that last game come December, man. And you can't question you can't question how good that team is and what they do. Third 12U invite, Bessemer Tigers. And once again, you see Bessemer coming again and again and again and again, again and again and again on different age levels, right?
Yeah.
Just shows why they got Organization of the Year last year, right? Renegade Coach United. Step up to the plate. You now have your 12U invite. Now, I think the biggest question we have here and I haven't talked to Bull's mother, right? I don't have no inside source. All I'm going off of is what I seen online. The question is, will Bull return with RCU or will he be playing with another organization on 12U this year? That's the question I've been hearing. Right?
Well,
Now,
my
oh,
my question to
you
you,
got some
Clay.
info? You got some info?
No, well, I can tell you, like our previous show, that mom wasn't happy online in regards to award show, and this is the thing that when you coach, you got to be aware of parents are decision makers. They're the agent. They are the kid's agent at the time, and you got to keep the agent happy. You got to keep it's a lot of politics in coaching, man. It's not like the old days. You just come to the park, and if you show up, you got to play my team. The transfer portal is nothing compared. You think transfer portal is crazy in college? Transfer portal is crazy in youth football. You'll get a team. I've seen, and I'm being 100. Y'all probably know. I've seen a kid in the third quarter activate the transfer portal. The mama said, "Take that stuff off. We out of here." Third quarter, transfer portal was out of there. And as that third quarter, this was in a tournament, right? And in the tournament, the next game, that player who plays running back was on the next team the next day in that tournament. So if you think the transfer portal is crazy, so my question to you, Clay, if Bull is not on RCU, is RCU a national contender?
Well, you never know what the next man has until he's given an opportunity to step up. So obviously we would think maybe not, but let me ask you this, Jonah. When Drew Brees went down for the New England Patriots, did you know the next guy up was going to end up being arguably the GOAT?
Bledsoe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Drew Bledsoe. My bad. Drew Bledsoe. When Drew
No,
Bledsoe went
not
down,
Drew.
did you know that the next guy up was going to arguably be the GOAT?
100%. I didn't know it.
So
I would
that's
argue.
why we play the game. That's why we play the game, bro. You
You're
never
right.
know. But yeah, my bad, Pat. Drew Bledsoe. But as some of these people, I'm seeing on here that some people were saying that he's locked in with RCU. Flanagan is saying that Bull is on the move. Is that something by Flanagan saying maybe Bull gonna play up to 13U with him? I mean, I don't know. You just never know. You just never know.
Oh man. Oh.
So, all right. Well, so boy, you made me. All right. So now,
No,
next
you're on
12U
your
invite.
15 now. 15, 12U.
Yeah. Next 12U invite all the way from the West Coast. The OG Ducks. Come on over, man. Come on over. Come on, let's get this thing done early in August. Shout out to the OG Ducks on 12U. And then again, we're going to invite the UYFL National Champion on 12U, Bullet Football Academy, man. Congratulations. You guys have your invitation to the preseason national.
And let
So,
me address that real quick, Clay, that you say that. So a lot of people ask, in some of our previous age groups, why did we see Bullet in some of those invitations when they haven't seen him in the YNC circuit? Well, if you paid attention to our previous broadcast, we said we wanted to utilize this specific platform to invite all the national champions so we can have a unified championship belt. So if you won, I won't hit everybody's acronym, but if you won an area in different areas, man, it's open invitation. If we feel you come and beat one of our champs, Clay, I will sponsor the trophy. I will give them a replica YNC trophy if another particular champ, right, comes back and defeats one of our champs. You record this, screenshot it, Clay. Record it, whatever you need to do. I will sponsor a YNC trophy, crystal ball, with your team's name on it. We'll give you detail. If you are another league champ that can knock off those champs, get your trophy. You know what I'm
just like
saying?
that,
We
man.
have faith
Just like
we have
that.
faith in the brand over here.
Hey,
So
and
that's
that's the
why if you
thing.
see Bullet, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Clay, but if you've seen Bullet, it's because we're giving different national platforms an opportunity to play in a league agnostic opportunity. We're not caring about the brands. They'll get a fair shot at a national championship in the preseason bragging rights. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And don't worry, this trophy will be like no other than you'll get at any other national championship in the
Oh
youth
yeah,
football platform.
don't play with it.
So, hey man, I mean, you know how this thing rolls, Jonah. So, I got here's one thing that I'm wondering people gonna talk about. Look at it, Jonah. My boy, people just so upset they don't have an invite. They just, oh boy, if I show you the hate text messages I'm getting on my watch right now, but you gotta win. You've got to win, Jonah. And here's the thing that people don't understand. Like everybody wants to be rewarded for a loss. Everybody wants a participation or a pat on the back or attaboy or you almost getting it done is not getting it done. You
But
almost getting it
I
done is
don't.
not getting it done. Jonah,
But
Boynton
Clay, I
Beach
don't understand
almost
why they
beat
not
Rare
in,
Breed, but they didn't beat them.
why are they not embracing the open invitation? The six is an invite. Did you want to just be mentioned? And here's another thing. Now that I brought that up, Clay, you know, years and years we've been used, Clay. We've been used and abused. You and I specifically, right? And what do I mean by that? Oh man, hit us up. Shoot us an invite. Shoot us, post it. Nah, y'all post it from y'all website. Put it on your Instagram. Put it on y'all Facebook. Give us the invite. We there, coach. We send them the invite. Say, hey man, you know you got 5 days to respond. Hit them. Like why? Why
Nothing.
is this going? Why am I going to first? Yeah, I'm going to the first ring as soon as I'm called. Ring, right? And so then I'll call from another phone and it ring. I'm like, hold on. Hey, how you doing? I said, Coach. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, man, you blocked me on the other line, bro. What's up with you, bro? Oh, no, man. No, my kid be using my phone probably. But so you just wanted an invite to brag and as a recruiting tool. So look, don't get caught up in the invite. Don't get caught up in the glitz and glamour because you didn't get your name called tonight in the top six. If you are a football coach and you want to play some football and you want to win a football game and be recognized on the football field, get your invite. Get past the invite, get your sign up, get locked in, and knock off them top six. There's no pressure because you're going to play 4 quarters of football and you'll have an opportunity that anybody left standing in front of you, you can handle that business. And we're going to give you an uncut interview where you can let it off your chest.
And that's the thing, Jonah. A lot of guys in the past were using their invites to get players on their rosters. Guess what? You can't do that this year. Because you see these invites y'all see tonight, you'll never see them again coming from me or Jonah. You'll never see them again. Because
Clay,
after
I was
these
in Atlanta one
invites,
weekend. Clay, I was in Atlanta one weekend. I went to go grab some seafood, and I saw a coach in there with like one of the moms. I said, hey, what's up, coach? Everything good in there? Yeah, man. Spondivis, little seafood restaurant. And he said, man, thank you, coach, for giving us that invite. Man, that invite got me this date out here tonight, man. I'm out here, I'm out here in the city on y'all invite.
uh,
Hey, man, stop using us, man. If the invite is not for that.
that's it, man. That's it. I mean, you know
Oh,
how it is.
man.
They use it to recruit
Yeah,
players. They use it for this and that, and that's the thing, man. Like you'll never see these invites again after tonight. So either you get
right.
an invite and you reply within 48 hours, or it's open registration. And that's the thing that's crazy, Jonah. Can't nobody hate. Everybody's got the same opportunity to get in here. 5 minutes. I'm gonna put the link on my Facebook page. I'm gonna tag Jonah, AG, and the Youth National Championship. If you're not following one of us four, you didn't want to be in the Youth National Championship anyway.
And I'm going to put it on Generation Next, so it's no excuse. No excuse.
Oh, gotta
Let's
tag
jump
Gen
into the
next. Yep.
13 you, Clay.
All
Well,
right. I
listen,
mean,
it's no surprise, Clay. Who go, AG, just go ahead and lace up who we got for the number 113U. No surprise here. The invite will start off with the number 1 team in the land. Of course, they went crazy. They went 8 all year. Deservingly, the first invite goes to Rare Breeds, the number one 13U team in the nation, really having an excellent year, a dominant year. They played teams outside of the league. They started out in preseason. They knocked off everybody else's champ. If it was somebody else's champ, they was looking for them. And they went there and went and got them. And so they handled business. They stood on business, and they went everywhere where they were asked to go. So you got to give them a shout out. You can love them or you can hate them. Talk to me, Coach.
Jonah, one thing before you go any further. DeMarcus.
Yeah.
I know we hadn't talked a lot lately because you've been busy and I've been busy, but I'm going to put the plea out there for the whole world to see. Only play 8 regular season games. Quit traveling around the world, beating the brakes off all these people from all these other platforms, and then when we get to Nationals, it's just you and Boynton. Let them people think they got a shot, man. After we do this preseason Nationals, you and Boynton, y'all play in the championship. Wherever the result is the result. And then y'all let everybody else, man, make it. Just play eight local teams that you know you can beat with your third strings. And then let everybody else come to Nationals, man, and then we'll give you some real good competition. My man went to Michigan and beat the brakes off somebody. Then he went to California and beat the brakes off somebody. Then he went to Florida and beat the brakes off somebody. Then he went to Phoenix and beat the brakes off. Then he went to Seattle and beat the brakes off somebody. Stop it, man. Stop that, DeMarcus. You a bully. Stop that.
The year before he was in New York.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but listen, that's what we promote, man. But leave some side dishes on your meal for the end of the year. Or you're going to just be having one of those games that, you just chill at the end of the year. You're going to come up in the press box and call some games with me. But congratulations to the Rare Breeds having a real dominant year, in dominant fashion. And Boynton Beach, they get the respect from a lot of people in the country. If they didn't know about Little Boynton Beach, now you know about them. That's a team that just really stood in the paint. And listen, just don't remember the game that they played against the Rare Breeds. What a lot of people forget and a lot of people don't talk about, it's swept under the rug, Clay. Boynton Beach knocked off Miami Gardens Ravens. Knocked them off, defeated them. No one talks about that. They knocked off in the other acronym league, they knocked off their champs in a 1-1, 4 quarters of football, coaching staff against coaching staff, mano-a-mano, players against players. They knocked them off last year. So give Boynton Beach credit because Boynton Beach handled their business. They stood on business, and they were peaking at the right time of the year. A couple weeks before they played a Rare Breeds, they knocked off the Ravens. So don't sleep on them. Of course, invitation goes out to the team that they lost to in the Boynton Beach. We feel still are in the top 3 in the country. We feel Miami Garden Ravens really has an excellent team, especially when they're healthy. When they have their linebacker in, when they have number 9 in. We've seen them go up to Michigan and go up with an 8-point lead. But when that kid went out, we just saw an 18-point lead really get reeled in. And shout out to the boys in Michigan that knocked them off, that just really called a great game to come back with the win. And then you got to give a shout out to my man doing big things in City Life. At City Life Raptors, man, that's been a competitive program, a competitive age group. This is a team that we feel on any given day can compete with any of these teams. They actually had a good game with the Rare Breeds until that game got called. It was a competitive game. It was a physical game. But City Life Raptors, if you can get those 4 teams on one football field, Clay, and I haven't even gotten to the rest of them yet. Rare Breeds, Boynton Beach, City Life, Miami Gardens Ravens. That itself, there's a juggernaut competition right there. Treyman Elite, another team that, of course, has some bad blood with the Rare Breeds, but another team that's competitive. They need a couple more pieces. I think they need to get back to where they were before a couple of years ago. But if they add some pieces to that team, look for them to be in the top 5 or 6 in the country once again. And, of course, the OG Ducks, man. This is a team that, with the right leadership and with the right type of turnaround, they can compete with anyone in there. Coach Larry's done a great job. They've been competing against the Rare Breeds. They've been competing against the Miami Garden Ravens. They haven't ran from the smoke. They've been competing for them for the last couple of years. We'd love to see them jump out early in the season. So there you go. You recap these top 6 teams: Boynton Beach. Rare Breeds, Boynton Beach, Miami Gardens Ravens, City Life, Treyman Elite, OG Ducks on one football field. And then you throw in that spice of another 6 teams. You're going to talk about a straight movie at the 13 and under division, Clay.
And word is on the street is, man, Trey Man and Lethan did a big merger. So it'll be interesting to see, what the end result is of that. Also, every time I'm looking on social media now, I see the mastermind of the West Coast, Keefe, is working. This kid is coming to the OG Ducks. That kid is coming to the OG Ducks. So I do think that this year they are really adding some different ingredients to stir up that pot of what they're gonna show up with. So it will still be interesting to see how this thing works out. I mean, of course, you'd be a fool to go against rare breeds and that whole movement, but you still got to play the game. You
Yeah.
still got to play the game. So we'll see how this whole thing shakes up, man. So our oldest age division, 14U. 14U is kind of like 6U when we're talking about in April. It's very hard to predict, right? But we know for sure you've got four major staples in the 14U division that's going to pretty much be a constant. So we're going to start right there. First off, we're going to give an invite to our to the OG Ducks on 14U. We know that they're going to be back. We know that they'll be reloaded. Coach Keefe, Coach Mike, etc. They're going to be ready to go. Then we're going to give our next 14U invite to our defending YNC national champions, the OC Buckeyes. We know that Coach Les and company is always going to keep a stable of great athletes coming down. They're going to be well coached. They're going to execute. They're going to fly to the ball. They're going to make a push for a national championship. Again, got to go back to the East Coast. Holler my man Bird. Maryland Heat. You have your 14U invitation to the 2024 preseason nationals. And then over the past 4 to 5 years, they've really, jumped on the scene at the 13U and 14U age division. Last year, they had a nice run, won them a championship on one platform, was runner-up at the YNC. Gen Elite 14U invitation is there for you. Now, this next 14U invitation, Jonah, this one kind of goes in my whole Miami Garden Ravens on 11U basket. This team hasn't been to a YNC event in 4 years. They came, they saw, they didn't conquer, and they never returned. But I'm gonna put the invite out there anyway because I think that, man, it's time for you to come on home, man. Let's go on and raise your competition level up. Mississippi Wolfpack, you have a 14U invitation to the 2024 preseason nationals, and then to round out the sixth and final 14U invitation, the North Carolina Giants. North Carolina Giants on 14U. You guys have your invitation. So, recapping 14U, we've got the OG Ducks, we've got the OC Buckeyes, we've got Maryland Heat, we've got Gen Elite, Mississippi Wolfpack, and the North Carolina Giants all have 14U invitations. Those next 6 slots are going to be open. And Jonah, as we get further and further into this live, it's getting closer and closer to that link popping up and people having to either step up or shut the up.
Thank you, Christian Cornerstone, for just really transformation of my brother. Clay is a different guy, different guy. But congratulations to those teams that got the invite. I look forward to it. This is going to be a crazy, crazy week, man. August 1st through the 4th. I can't tell you. I can't even imagine what it's going to be, early in August, playing this type of caliber of football back to back.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. So listen, go ahead, Clay.
The thing that's going to be great for me, Joan, is having, all right, so as we talked about it, man, this whole process has evolved. It's not a weekend event anymore. It's 4 days. So we're giving you a true preseason national championship experience. Every single field is going to be full four-quarter, regulation clock games, 2-game guarantee, and not to mention, man, we're putting something together for these coaches all from the same state to have a flag football tournament, man. Now think about this. You already know what the YNC vibe is like in the preseason, man. You already know how we get down in nationals. Now we taking we taking what we do at nationals and what we do in the preseason, and we putting them together and giving you, man, the greatest preseason event you can imagine. This thing's gonna be crazy, Jonah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish it was at the end of July right now because I know that August is right around the corner, brother.
So it's gonna be like Battle 7-on-7, but these coaches get to go ahead and thug it out and represent their city. It's gonna be a lot of dudes cramped up, but hey, it's gonna be a blast. It's definitely gonna be a blast, man. Well, Clay, without further ado, man, we got a lot of work to do. It's time to put these invites. Shout out to my man in the background, Al for AG Sports, doing it big. No further hold up, guys.
Well, looked like Jonah, his technical difficulty finally kicked in. But like he was saying, I'm gonna continue the conversation, man. It is time to get it done. All right, all invitations to the preseason nationals are out at this particular point. Right, it's time to go ahead and get your team registered. Give me about 5 minutes. All right. I'm gonna make the link public on the Youth National Championship Facebook page. Since some people said doing it on my personal Facebook page was too political, I'm gonna put it on the Youth National Championship Facebook page. Tag Generation Next, tag myself, Jonah, AG Sports, and we are putting it out there. Get on there, get on board. Let's get locked in, man. We'll see you next time. My man Jonah Willett faded out a little bit. I'm still here though. Clayton Guillory, AG on the ones and twos. We are Football Uncut. We see you guys next time. Peace.